Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager, episode number 10. Using the Fire Fantasy mod. Bunch of F1 features added in here, and with our custom team, we are so crazy far behind everyone. So you can see our car obviously is 12th, but here's a real example. Now, while we are at 3 3/4 stars, everybody else 4 stars and above. 4.5 stars is the max. So realistically, we're close, but here's why we're still not actually close. Alpine is 11th, Manor is 10th. Here's where their car is in comparison to ours, meaning halfway between us and Mercedes. Here's Alpine, 4.25 stars. They have the worst car on the grid other than us, and you can see that they are literally in the exact same spot as Manor. And after all the improvements we've made to the car, we are still very much at the bottom of this table, of this listing. So we've got a long ways to go. And in terms of drivers, you look, Williams is on the low end. Toro Rosso is very much on the low end, close to where we're at, and they're number 11. Manor headquarters. You can see how low they are as well, and we've had 2 major upgrades there. Now, Alpine's got the worst pit crew, and so it's nice to see somebody else at the bottom for a change, and we are the tops there. Sponsors, we're doing pretty good too. Staff, yeah, we're middle of the road on that. So those things are keeping us up there a bit. We are just so far behind on the headquarters in the car. The drivers, not a big deal. Another thing to look at, though, of course, is just how bad our chassis is. And next season, if we're still in Formula 1, if they don't relegate us, we'll have a much better chassis. But that's next season. We've still got to survive this season in the first place. So we're going to be heading into Spa-Francorchamps, to the Ardennes Forest for the Belgian Grand Prix. Low tire wear, very high fuel burn, 49 laps for this race. And we pulled out the ultras for this one. And I think we're going to do kind of the same setup as what we've had, if tire wear really is that low, but then again, looking at those mediums. Mediums are normally in a different place. We do have a new part for the car, so there's going to be a minor upgrade this time. And it's here in the gearbox. So you can see we have a new gearbox. It's a 394. Its potential is a 443. This 413 one is already maxed out. We're going to keep that on Deegan's car for now, but Krohn's going to make a massive jump from a 323 to a 394. So that's an increase of 71 performance. That's pretty nice. It's going to cost her a little bit of reliability, and once we start improving that part, which has that high potential, we'll switch that over to Deegan's car. But no change for Deegan. That one goes for Krohn, which means we're still going to be just as far off the back as we were before. With half the season behind us, one thing to keep in mind here, it takes a top 10 to get into the points. But the back of the grid, those who haven't scored points, the way that they are determined by position is the highest finish of the drivers of the teams. So it doesn't take both cars, it takes one. So we're going to continue to have one car outshine the other as best as we can do with that. But also, we need one crazy race that sees both drivers of either Manor or Alpine out of the race, therefore the back of the grid, and enough cars out of the race to get us to a point where we're higher in position than they've achieved this season. That would instantly move us up the order. But again, that relies on help, and at this point, we kind of have to because, you know, yeah. So the mediums could actually just about go the distance and make it a zero-stop race. That is pretty crazy. The super softs can go most of the way, but the ultras can't quite go. Can do a two-stopper on ultras and go much faster. Curious what the time difference is between the three tires. And I may just check a lap on all three tires. Just to see. So maybe we go for a two-stopper. Maybe we go for a zero-stopper. And it looks like you could get almost 60 laps. So we're probably going to do one long run on super softs and then ultras to the end. Seems the most likely. Of course, you're on the wrong trim. Oh, they're both on the wrong trim. Come on. They just wasted 15 seconds for us. Oh, nice. Oh, I like that. We've got a chance today. 96% already for Deegan. And all that is off is the downforce. And that's the easiest one to make minor tweaks to. It is 4% though, so we're going to go with a significant jump. 5/10. And she could already technically go for a long run. Crone not quite there yet. 92. Downforce, quite a ways to go. I want to keep that the same. Try the tire pressure instead. Okay, well that makes the tiniest difference at least. She's not going to go out for the full stint. We're going to bring her back in again. Oh, there we go. Just about got it. 97%. And now it's just the handling that's off. It's going to be really hard to get this one. Small margins. Try that for a setup. And we'll go 4 laps, but we're going to let her run 1 lap here. one hot lap. We are so slow. 7 seconds off the pace. Oh, nice, that worked. Okay, 98. Not a massive improvement, but it's enough to get the job done. So 12 laps for her. She's going to head back out, work on those bonuses, and we're going to switch our focus over to Deegan, who will bring in, how about this lap? See, just run in neutral. The tires do get overheated. Supers do, so that's a little bit worrying. So we're going to have some tire heating issues in the race if we do in fact run with the supers. Okay, and we got hers down as well. We went the right way. 99, that's even better. We're going to run it back out there. Finish off the race trim. One level to go. Looking unlikely that we're going to see any additional bonuses, as we only have 6 minutes, 5 minutes. We're under 5 minutes already, 4 minutes. That's it. So I was just going to go ahead and bring them in, call it a day, 3 minutes. There's no way we're getting a level 1 bonus. Well, that locks us into our strategy. Whew. Well off the back again. At least without the bonuses. I really feel for Williams here. I know Williams, it's not as bad for them as it is for us here, but this is rough. Just being this far down and knowing that you're this far down. Really, the only solace for them, the only thing that can make you kind of sigh and go, okay, it's okay. We've got this. The only thing about that is that they know that they're not going to get relegated. For them, their only concern right now, other than getting the car better and competitive, the only concern they have right now is finances. 3 seconds off the pace. 2 cars much closer together today, though. So either Deegan was slow or Krone was fast. I know Krone's gearbox helps close that gap a bit, but she's still got a far inferior car. It was Vettel fastest again. This mod strongly favors the Ferrari, but not Leclerc. For whatever reason, Leclerc is always off pace compared to his teammate here. This time it's 0.2 of a second here in Q2. Hamilton less than a tenth behind. Quick session, Q3. Hamilton looks to be first one out on track. He's going to set the first time. And he is 8 milliseconds ahead of Vettel. Second lap. Vettel goes quickest by over 2/10. Hamilton could not better his time. No, he does. He betters his time by 1/10. No. Okay. He did not better his time. His last lap was almost exactly 1/10 slower than his original time. Vettel picks up a quarter of a second on his final lap to take pole away from Lewis Hamilton. Bottas third on row 2. Leclerc joins him there. Those two are pretty close together. Verstappen also quite close, but down in P5 on row 3. Gasly quarter second off the pace of his teammate. And then a bit of a jump down to both Renaults. Then a bit of a jump again to the Racing Points. They are quite close together. Stroll out qualifying Perez. And then the McLaren and the Toro Rosso. We move on to Sunday. It's race day here at Spa. One of the most exciting races of the year, at least in real life. We'll see if we can provide any excitement with this one. I would be thrilled if there were. And there's a 40% chance of rain, by the way. How are we looking on that front? Nothing in the first 12 laps. Do not want to start on the ultras. Go with the supers. All right, well, we are ready to go, and weather forecasting would be nice for the team in the headquarters. Better forecasting center. But we will deal. I'm going to put up 5 red lights. We're going to go racing here. Vettel on pole. Everybody with once used ultras. Through the top 12? Yes, it is. Norris is going to start the race on used mediums. Cupid's starting the race on the ultras. Those aren't going to last very long. We've got a little bit of a window to them, I guess. But we are the only ones. No. 3 others on the soft. Super soft. Alright, well, here we go. In Spa, 5 red lights are up. They are out. Another good start from Deegan. This time, though, she gets the inside ahead of a bunch of cars. All the way up to P15 and then around turn number 1 with another up through Orush. And she keeps making the moves all the way up to P12. Krone is in 23rd, so not a bad start there either as she moves up a spot. And Deegan continues to move forward up to P8 now. What an amazing start to this race. I know that it's going to go backwards. It's already beginning. That was Max Verstappen that we were ahead of after the opening straightaway into the first chicane. She's quickly going backwards now in P10, but that was still an absolutely phenomenal start to this race, and that was definitely the most exciting moment of the race for us. She decided to bring it today. She brought it well. She's going to get to the end of the first lap, just outside of the points, dropping to P13 on the final straight. You don't have that tight chicane that they actually have at Spa, but through Eau Rouge this time, she's sliding backwards now, P15. Krone already P24, not too far behind though, so she's hanging in there. Kubica locks up, has a problem. He's okay though. He is okay, no issues. Deegan now sliding to P18 as Jean-Eric Verne getting around. That's one of those cars you'd love to keep behind you. Now, anytime and every time I can get a safety car, it will be very welcome in this race. Just not if it's one of my cars. Deegan now down to 20th, but Krohn's still hanging on to the back of the field. Has not been dropped yet. That is a fantastic sign, but overheating now starting to be an issue. So we're going to cool things down here. Deegan 21st. Holds off Norris for now in the McLaren. Now Norris gets around Van Dorn, last car, and looking to make a move through the chicane here. Deegan locked up because somebody in front locked up as well. Giovinazzi almost gets a penalty there, but he gets away with that one. And now we are back into our traditional 23rd, 24th last spots in the grid, but it is lap 3, approaching lap number 4, and we are still right there in contact with the field. That is progress. That is major progress for us. 2 seconds separate the cars at this point. Deegan getting shuffled back has kind of had to let off through a handful of corners, and that's kept the gap close between her and Krohn. As we head into Eau Rouge. On up the hill. Our power deficit really shows this is where we're losing the most ground, is there in the straight. Another lockup right in front of us. Lando Norris from P20. Bit of damage to his tires on that one. And you can see the top 10 all on the Ultra Soft. It's Raikkonen currently in that best of the rest. First mediums. He'll be able to go a very long time. Remember, the mediums, there's a tiny chance for a 0-stop race. But as of right now, the top 4 are pulling away from the rest of the field. And look who it is in P1. Daniel Ricciardo leads this race for the Renault Sport. But here comes Sebastian Vettel looking to make a move. Ricciardo blocks him well there, squeezes him out into the first part of the chicane, opens up a little bit of a gap. Perez with a lockup further back down the order. Now you can see things are starting to open up in the field here on lap number 5 just a bit. Top 4 pulling away. Top 11 opening up a gap. Top 14 with a little bit of a gap. And then we are starting to drop off, but we're still close to the field right now, and it's a large track. So again, a safety car or 2 will work wonders, and we could actually have a chance in this race to at least stay on an equivalent lap of others. Ricciardo again blocks Vettel off as Vettel looks to the inside there in turn number 1, but Ricciardo gets wide, gets his elbows out, and Vettel has to stay tucked in behind. Meanwhile, that's allowing Hamilton and Bottas to both stay close. 2 seconds separating the top 4 cars. I think Vettel really struggling to make the overtake, which he has shown in real life that he is very poor in traffic. Makes a lot of mistakes. Yellow flag, sector 2, and it is Nico Hulkenberg. Ooh, he's dropping back too fast. Probably already back to the box by the time I got to him. But Nico Hulkenberg out of this race. First DNF, and it is the teammate of the race leader. Nico Hulkenberg out of the race, and we are up to 22nd, 23rd. Less than 5 seconds behind on lap 6. That is a beautiful position to be in right now. Fantastic run here by Lance Stroll in P5 at the moment. Yes, he's caught well behind Bottas, but he's got a 4-second cushion over Charles Leclerc in 6th. I think Leclerc just moved ahead of Sainz here in the last lap or 2. His tires also in better shape than any of the others in the top 8. So expect Leclerc to move forward at least into P5 before too long. Sainz is P7. Perez in the other racing point in P8. Raikkonen has moved up a spot to P9 after Hulk's crash. Alexander Albon now into the points for Toro Rosso in P10. Gasly out of the points all the way down in P11 on used Ultras. He had a bad start to the race, and it's not looking good when he's going to have to pit before too long. Fernando Alonso doing really well for the Alpine here to start this race all the way up in P12. That is what I cannot afford to have. I cannot afford for those teams to have good results at or near the points, because if I'm ever going to get myself a good finish, well, it's going to be hard to get above P12. Kubica all the way up in 13th for the Williams. Kvyat behind him in P14, just behind him and having a look. So Toro Rosso's having a good day today. Gio also putting pressure on. He's got a problem with his parts, but he is in hot form. A 10 right now. He's got to look to the outside as the Toro Rosso also having a look. One trying to pass another, trying to pass another. We nearly go 3 wide. Giovinazzi gets through ahead of the Toro Rosso. And now he'll look at Kubica. Penalty, Hamilton. That's not Hamilton. That's Stroll. There's Hamilton. Drive-through. Drive-through penalty for Lewis Hamilton. And he drops to P8. He has picked up so many penalties in this game. Makes you wonder whoever made this mod. I think they really, really dislike Hamilton because he crashes frequently. And in real life, when does Hamilton ever hit somebody? I don't remember the last time that he caused an accident. I mean, he's barely ever even locked up. He's been so flawless these last couple seasons. He's been involved in accidents, but 99% of them are 100% the other driver's fault, or at least 70 or 80% the other driver's fault. I mean, the last big crash that I remember him having was with Rosberg, when Rosberg took him out. Verstappen couldn't have been involved in that. Verstappen has pit already. Verstappen was nowhere near the front of the order. Well, anyway, Verstappen has pit. He was down the order. He's only 4 seconds behind. So Deegan is still only 6 seconds down to Felipe Massa. 6 seconds. That is it from the back of the order. We have not dropped far back. In fact, right now with Verstappen, it's only 3 seconds, but you don't really count those. Count the regular running order. But Massa in 20th is only 5 seconds ahead at the moment as we've closed it down a little bit further. Wow. Okay. I'm liking this 5-second gap between the two teammates. But we are hanging in there. And Daniel Ricciardo, after what happened with, I don't know, Vettel dropped to third, so I wonder if Vettel might have been the one that Hamilton collided with. Hamilton was in third, Vettel was in second, and now Bottas has moved up ahead of both of them into second. Giovinazzi has a mechanical issue, and he is going to pit to repair that. Let's go ahead and go times 2 here so we can get this full race in time. Lap 11 right now. I need to check where we are at. Tires almost overheating here. We're going to cool them down for a couple of laps, and we also need to start conserving a little bit of fuel. We are not getting lapped soon. Giovinazzi comes out in between Krohn and Deegan. Giovinazzi in 22nd place right now. Now this is purely a mechanical, so this is not a racing incident or anything like that. So Giovinazzi almost legitimately. Hamilton now pits to repair the problem he had from his collision. And let's see if I can find him. There we go. P20, here comes Deegan, which Giovinazzi has just gotten around, by the way. Hamilton stays ahead even after his drive-through penalty and pitting to repair. You can see we are just a little ways behind there. Ricciardo, 4 seconds ahead. Make that 3 of Bottas. Bottas really closed him down on the straightaway there. Bottas P2. Vettel. Not far behind in P3, but definitely has dropped back a bit from where he'd been. Stroll P4. Vettel seems unaffected by the contact with Hamilton, if it was in fact between those two. Leclerc is up to P5 as expected, but he still is not past Stroll. It's just that Hamilton's not there anymore. Sainz continues to run P6. The gap between those three is slightly larger than before. Perez a little bit further down. P7. Raikkonen now P8. Continues to slide forward. Gasly back into the points, but only in P9, and his ultras are very much worn. He's going to pit here anytime now. Heads up through Eau Rouge there. Albon a little bit further behind. Gasly just close it in. Let's go ahead and stay with this. He's really pushing right now, so I'm wondering if he's going to pit soon. 19%. Gonna lose some time if he continues on much longer with these tires. 18%. Goes by pit lane, does not pit. You can see he was a second off the pace that lap as he's already gone off the cliff. Going through Eau Rouge again. There he goes. He's going to pit this lap. Albon 10th. Alonso up to 11th. That's not good for us. Kubica in 12th. Russell up to 13th now. And Verstappen coming back through the field all the way down in P14. Jean-Eric Verne in 15. He's got Lando Norris right on him, but Norris was involved in one of those incidents earlier, so his tires are greatly used. It's Hamilton quickly coming now on the softs. Gasly pitting and fixing knee problems, so that's going to take Gasly a little bit of time there. Van Dorn P17. Massa up to P18. Gasly comes out of the pits. It sandwiched in between him and Giovinazzi, so we've got heavy traffic here for 18, 19, 20, and 21st position Kvyat. The gap, by the way, has really opened up to us. So we are... Oh, no wonder we're off the pace. Oh my goodness. Really? That is my mistake. I turned down the engine mode. I tried to cool off the tires and I let it run too long. We went from a small gap to a very large gap in a hurry. Damn it. Busy watching everybody else. Not focusing on our own race, and now we really need that safety car because we are on the verge of getting lapped. So I would love to see Alonso out of this race as he is in the points right now. Leclerc pitting, Stroll pitting. Leclerc comes out ahead of Stroll. In fact, Raikkonen's gonna go. No, Raikkonen's going ahead of both. But Leclerc and Stroll have swapped positions through that pit stop. Kubica pitting right now as well. A lot of action there, but we are well behind. Need to push high. I do not want to get lapped. Come on. Krone is getting close to getting lapped. Let's drop in on her and see how far behind the leaders are. Still Daniel Ricciardo, but they are all about to pit really soon, actually. And Leclerc's 34 seconds down. Ricciardo would definitely come out ahead of him if he pits right now, but that could buy us some time. We are not close to pitting yet. We're still at 50%, and Ricciardo's coming in this lap. Let's go ahead and ride with him as he goes to lap Krone and then heads into the pit. Peels off. So Krone back onto the lead lap. Ricciardo in the pits. It's a good stop, quick stop. And he heads back out onto track. He's using the super softs that theoretically could go the distance. That was 20 laps on the Ultras. Alright, so Ricciardo comes out in P2. Bottas also pit, and he's 5 seconds down. Vettel, the last one who has not pit yet, and Vettel has sandwiched my cars. He has gone around Krone, so Krone is yet again a lap down. Deegan's still on the lead lap with 29 laps to go. Can I get a safety car soon? Vettel, please pit first. But Ricciardo's coming. He's got those fresh tires, so Ricciardo, let's see, 18 seconds, and he's about halfway. So it's about 9 seconds. Vettel, pit. Come on, Vettel. Pit for me, would you? Pit, pit, pit. Lap down. Did not pit this lap. Hopefully we'll pit the coming lap. He's down to 15%. Come on. Yes, Vettel's going to pit this lap. Let this lap go. And then somebody give me a safety car. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please. Let him peel off at least first. Here comes Ricciardo. Ricciardo's closing in quick on Krone. And Vettel into the pits. Where will he come out at? Wow, that was a quick stop. Quick stop. He's going to come out in third place. Yes, third place, just ahead of his teammate Charles Leclerc. 7.5 seconds down. Okay, now back up front where it matters. Ricciardo coming up on Krone. Give me that safety car. Give me that safety car, please. Krone, a lap down. At least before you lap Deegan. 8 seconds, almost 9 seconds between the pair. And Ricciardo has already split the difference almost evenly. So we're down to about 5 seconds is the gap ahead. Come on, give me a safety car. Give me a safety car. Somebody crash. Giovinazzi goes around Kvyat. He's going to pit soon. We're only 30 seconds down. Push for a little bit. Stay ahead. Don't get lapped. No. Come on. Safety car. Somebody crash. Krone. Crash gate. Do it. Do it. Ricciardo's in trouble. Bottas within a second. Deegan's in a ton of trouble, though. A lap down. Our hopes, our dreams have now faded. 25 laps. Took 25 laps to get lapped. Halfway through the race. That is a huge step in the right direction. Giovinazzi pits. Comes out in that last position ahead of us. And we are just 24 seconds behind. Haley Deegan just 24 seconds behind Giovinazzi through 26 laps. That is less than a second a lap. But Giovinazzi has stopped twice. Deegan has not stopped. So, you know, we got that. We're going to go fast, 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 fast. Let's stay with my drivers for a little bit here as I do not want to speed this up. 30% on the tire wear now, 30%. Raikkonen and Albon still have not stopped. They're up to 6th. More tires, yeah, got it. Still 30% though. I think we can go to ultras after this as we are hanging on. Krone now at 30%. About to get lapped by Kimi Raikkonen. Ricciardo's still leading, but Bottas is just behind him now. Keep going, you two. Keep going. Lap 30. 25% now for Deegan. 24% now. One more lap. Yeah, one more lap, one more lap. There you go. Deegan crosses the start-finish line. We will pit this lap. And we're going to go on to the Ultra Softs. No bonus for that one, but it is a quicker tire. We'll see if we stay quicker. Go ahead and attack this lap, huh? And push for me. Deegan getting ready to come in. Krone's going to come in the following lap. Even though there's 13 seconds between them, there's plenty of gap. Even if there's a problem for Deegan, Deegan's well ahead. But Krone can make it one more lap, so we'll do it. We'll go one more lap. But she will begin to push. There we go, Deegan. That is Hamilton behind you. Hamilton, remember, had that penalty. Dropped well down the order. Is down in P7. Deegan rolling through the slow pit lane. In. Good stop. Out. 2.16. Not our best. Neutral. Krone, this is your lap. Krone still behind as of right now. I would have loved to have waited a lap or two to see. The difference between the tires. See, where are we in relation to the leader? About half a lap down. Or just about. Top four remain close. Ricardo now a second and a half ahead of Bottas, so he's pulled back out a little bit of a lead. Bottas backing off to cool down. Vettel has definitely closed things back up from where he was, about 7-8 seconds down. Now only 3, but he's on the Ultras and will pit soon. Ricardo and Bottas, I think they're good to go to the end of the race. Leclerc is going to have to pit soon as well. So the Ferraris, questionable strategy today. They're going to have a two-stopper, and it very much could cost them this race. Does that mean that Lance Stroll will be on the podium? Oh, mistake for Krone on the front jack and the front left. Oh, she's in there all day. 7 seconds. 7 seconds was that stop. So, yeah, that didn't go so well. 20 seconds is the gap between Deegan and Krone now after that pitiful performance by the pit crew, the number one pit crew in the land. And there was very low chance of risk on that. And not only did one mistake happen, but 2 mistakes. Will they hit her for an unsafe release as well? No. No more penalties. That's good. Gee, where's that safety car that I kept asking for? Where's the DNFs? Hulkenberg, the only one out of this race. And then that penalty for Hamilton. That's been it. This has been super quiet, super clean. And where are all the crashes? Right about, like right here. You hit the low point, Eau Rouge, and then you hit that little crest right after. All that downforce goes away, and the rear end just slips right out from under you. No crashes. Vettel, fastest lap. He's now half a second behind Bottas, but again, he's on the Ultras. Leclerc's been on his a bit longer, but he is much closer than where he had been prior. So Leclerc has definitely made progress with those Ultras. Vettel, not so much. I don't think it's working out too well in his favor. Raikkonen finally heading into the pits and fixing a problem. This could be a little while. Oh, poor Raikkonen. He was running such a good race. P12 still fixing whatever his problem is. Please let it be a DNF. Don't make it back out there. 14th. Finally, they fix whatever it is, and he returns to the track. Now P16. Ouch. Now, Albon, the last hope, which, to me, I don't want to see him do well, but Verstappen, only P10. He still has not recovered. He has pit twice, though. And Gasly behind him in P11. Gasly looks like he might need to pit again. Russell, a ways down, but in P12. It's Norris P13. These guys all on the edge, outside of the points, looking in. Alonso has dropped to P14. That's good. I need Kubica to get ahead of him. That's going to be iffy, though. 3 seconds behind. And very used super softs. He might not even make it the distance. Raikkonen, he'll move up. Raikkonen will get ahead of Alonso. Hopefully. Yeah. Jean-Eric Vergne has not pit. He is still going for P18. Giovinazzi has just passed Felipe Massa. Felipe Massa now in 21st. But that is nearly 80 seconds ahead of my driver. But Massa has not pit. He is still on the mediums that he started this race on. And that is my driver that he is side by side and battling with right now. And has given Krohn a problem. Krohn has been crashed into. Krohn has been hit. Rear wing. You know what? For her, let's just bring it in. We're gonna put on the ultras, and we're gonna fix the car. Her day is done. Deegan's the one we're driving for. If Massa has a problem and is in there a while, we could really close this gap down a bit. So our race depends on Felipe Massa now. Felipe Massa, 21st, and very much going backwards, causing a lot of problems there as Leclerc gets away with a penalty, but Leclerc, I think, hit the back of Massa trying to get through. So Vettel is now in the race lead. There's Leclerc's just spun. Leclerc just spun. Whew. Okay, so Vettel in the race lead. 0.8 of a second, but Vettel will pit. Vettel absolutely will pit. Bottas right behind him. And Massa's pitting this lap. Here we go. Okay. We'll get back in with that race at the front here soon. 10 laps left to go. 10 laps to go. No problems, no repairs, quick stop, and Massa pushing immediately. It's on the mediums. It's slower, but he's a minute ahead. But look at that, a minute after 40 laps. That's 1 2/3 seconds, 1.6 per lap. It's so much better. And remember, we lost, what, 15, 20 seconds due to my error? So, it's more like 1.5 seconds a lap. It's closer. It's definitely closer. I mean, we had only just inched under 2 seconds a lap before. We're down to 1.5 seconds. Leclerc, another problem. He's cleared on it, but he's in the pits. Leclerc collided with Felipe Massa. A second time, by the way. That's twice. And Leclerc's down to 13th. Alright, Vettel still leads the race. 6 laps to go. But he's at 30%. Wow! How is he at 30% still? But realistically, those tires should only make it about 2 more laps. He's going to really push it. Bottas is 4 seconds behind. Ricciardo is 10 seconds behind there, but that's still a fantastic race as he sits on the podium and about to lap Deegan. Stroll all the way up in P4. Half a minute behind. That's fantastic for them. Hamilton, another pit stop. Couldn't make it to the end. Virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. No, not at this point. There's no reason to pit. What we do need to do, though, is slow this down a little bit. Slow this down. You're fine on fuel. You got 1.5. You're going to cool those tires down. 6 seconds, 6 seconds. Okay, back to normal. Vegan. And Giovinazzi crashed. So Giovinazzi's going to be out of this race. We do move up a spot. The Alfa Romeo is out. Kubica is pitting. Finally, Jean-Eric Verne getting ready to pit. We go all the way until the last 4 laps of the race. That's 17th. That's Kvyat going by. Here's Van Dorn. We're just now getting lapped by these cars. Not twice, but for the very first time. That is huge progress, but that's still getting lapped by the back markers. But not twice. Not twice. Massa still 80 seconds ahead. Or is 80 seconds ahead. It's not where he was before. It was 60 just a little bit ago. So not sure what happened with that virtual safety car that set us back like that. But okay, back to the front. Bottas has taken the race lead, and Vettel is about to pit. 3 laps to go. Vettel's tires are toast. Dropped off the cliff. Bottas got by. We've got a flag. Another flag. Yellow flag. Sector 3. Nobody's out, though. Krohn still has not overtaken Giovinazzi, but will before the end of this race. And Vettel into the pits. Vettel already down to 3rd. Ricciardo up into P2. And will Hamilton get by? No, Hamilton's got a long ways to go still, so Vettel will finish in P3. Stroll has pit again. Stroll is down to P5, so Hamilton back. Recovery drive to P4. Verstappen recovery drive up to P6. Sainz stays pretty close to Verstappen this entire time. He has not lost, 20 seconds. But he's only lost 15, 16 seconds to him. Otherwise, they've stayed steady, consistent throughout. Albon, an absolutely fantastic drive here for P8. But it looks like Valtteri Bottas should hang on, but he's down to 22% himself. Ricciardo, 16. Oh, will Ricciardo hang on? He's got a huge gap to Vettel. Will he pit? He does not. He does not. 2 laps remaining. He's going to be off that cliff, though. He's going to lose a ton of time. Bottas will slow as well, but Bottas, 2 laps, definitely should hold off Ricciardo, and as long as he doesn't pit, he'll hold off Vettel, because that's 19 seconds. He's not going to lose that much time. He might lose 4, 5, 6 seconds, but he's not going to lose 20. Hamilton pushing well, P4, but he's got a huge gap to Vettel. He did overtake Stroll. I mean, they both pit again, but Hamilton came from about 20 seconds behind him. It's now 3 seconds clear. Verstappen has a chance of catching Stroll, but I doubt it. Used Super Softs versus the Ultras. Meanwhile, back with Deegan. Let's go ahead and push for a little bit here. 21st. Massa has not lapped us. Verne is trying to. You're going to go into overtake mode. Come on. Give me a hard drive here. Finish strong. Finish strong. Massa will not lap us. So that's huge progress. Down through Eau Rouge. Max Verstappen has run wide. Oh, here he comes, Vern. Through the chicane. Just don't have the downforce either. But it was ultimately the speed up the hill. Our speed's the worst part. Engine and gearbox need the most work to get us a little bit closer. We're ultimately bad at everything, though, aren't we? Valtteri Bottas takes the win, 8 seconds clear of Daniel Ricciardo, but Ricciardo hangs on for P2. Vettel, last spot on the podium in P3. Hamilton's recovery drive gets him to P4. Stroll 5. Verstappen 6. Sainz, Albon, great drive from him for P8 for the Toro Rosso. Gasly, day to forget, P9, but very typical for him this year. Lando Norris is going to get the last spot in the points. Another fantastic drive there. And Leclerc out of the points. Remember, he had 2 problems there, and Deegan finishes in 21st. Only 2 DNFs. That really sucks. But we ended up on the same lap as Felipe Massa. That's progress. That is progress. And Massa didn't have a bunch of problems. He had a single pit. That was it. He just ran long. Ran the mediums and was just off the pace. 0 problems for Massa, but we were on the same lap. It was close to 2 seconds a lap in the end that we were down. So maybe the super softs would have been faster. Because we had been closer than that before. But through most of that race, 1.5 seconds off the pace. That's better. That is better. Leclerc, 20-second time penalty, but does get fastest lap. We were not a lap down to Massa, but we were a lap down to those other cars. But we were 2 laps down overall, 3 for Krone. But remember, Krone was hit and just pit and fixed everything. Might as well at that point as far down as she was. That was our best drive to date. Vettel still leads in the championship. Bottas moves ahead of Verstappen for P2. Hamilton way down in P4, one thing after another, and most of it's been on either him or the team. Ricciardo moves up into P5, not only best of the rest, but now better than Charles Leclerc. Gasly, all the way down in P7. Who are our back markers? Alonso. Van Dorn is... See, there you go, 0 and 0. Russell moved ahead of Van Dorn, even though neither of them have any points. Alpha's out of range. Toro Rosso's out of range. It's the Williams, it's Manor, or it's Alpine. Right now, Alpine is the one that can be beat. Massa, last place, at least ahead of us. It's Alonso that's the lowest team leader, or Van Dorn. So one of those two are our best bet. So I need Van Dorn and Alonso, along with their teammates, to continue to get bad results. It's Manor and Alpine, and that makes perfect sense that that's who we're racing against. And there you go. You see the exact order is followed here. Williams, Alpine, Manor. It's by whoever that team leader is, whoever's had the best result in the team. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.